All right, so we're going to add to our photography prop collection by creating this wall with these holes in it. All right, we're going to be making use of the Boolean modifier. All right, so let me show you how to do that. So let's turn this off, and we're going to press 7 for top view and press Shift A at a mesh plane. And let's give this plane some thickness. That will be our wall. So just tab into edit mode and press E and just move it up just a bit. All right, just about there. Now we're going to add our bool object, which will be a cylinder, actually 3 cylinders. So press Shift A and add a mesh cylinder. Of course, it's a bit large, and in our operator panel, we see we have 20 vertices, but that's okay because we're going to add a subdivision surface modifier. And cap fill type, let's set this to nothing. All right, so that we could actually add our subdivision modifier without worrying about these edges to the top. So I could do it now and press Ctrl 2 and right click and shade smooth. All right, so now I'm going to tab into edit mode, and just like we did in another video, we press S to scale it and Shift Z so it scales on the Z axis just about there. And let's press 7 for top view, and let's move this now where we think we might want. I'm holding Control. All right, so Shift D. All right, and just about there. And if I press Shift R, we should repeat that. So we have 3 nice cylinders there. That's our bool object. So let's add the Boolean modifier. So we want the Boolean modifier to operate on the plane or the wall. So click on this and add modifier, generate Boolean. What object are we using? Click on this eyedropper and select that. Now these cylinders, let me rename it to bool, right? That's the bool there. I could hide this, and now we can see it's enabled. And that is our Boolean object, but we're not done there because we want to add a nice bevel to it. We can actually apply this modifier, right? And if we tap into edit mode, we see what's happening. All C, so we see these edges these vertices being created. But this is not a problem because we're not subdividing this at all. Because anytime we have these vertices that are not connected to anything, then subdivision will be a problem. So we're making sure to just bevel. It's a flat object, so it'll work really nicely. So add modifier, generate a bevel modifier, easy. And it's a little big, so 0.005 is good. Nice bevel, and probably 2 segments like usual. All right, and we could right click and shade smooth, and then we'll get some weird shading. So all we need to do is go to the bevel modifier and go down to shading and click on hard normals, and that fixes that problem. And here's the thing with this. Now it's easy now to modify this even after we have applied the Boolean. We could tap into edit mode, and let's say we want these circles a bit bigger. Press Alt Z and press 1 to enter vertex select, and we could select all those circles, and then similarly we make sure that we scale individual origins. S, Shift Z. Oh, why that happened is because we also have these edges selected. So let's make sure and remove that. So we can press B, middle mouse, and click over that. B, middle mouse, and click over that. So now we only have these circles. So S, Shift Z, see that? And we could adjust the size. We could even adjust where it is on the plane if we want it in the middle. All right, but in this case we want it over there. All right, and simply press A to select everything, RX 90, and we could move this up. Make sure we set it to increment, and GZ, move it up, and there we have it. Here we have our wall, our triple offset circles, and that's how we create this, add into our photography props. And so I'll see you in the next one.